Hello friends. After understanding the concept computer program, now let us see the function oriented programming approach. FOP, simply it is called FOP, FOP approach. Actually, if you understand the real spirit of this approach and you are able to implement it in programs regardless of the language, either C, Java, or Python or C++. The names may be changed. Somewhere it is called function, somewhere it is called method. But the basic structure and the purpose and functionalities are same. That's why this is a very core concept. If you must understand the real spirit of that, and you must be in a position to implement it in your programs. So first I explain the concept here, and I will show you the show its structure also in a program. Actually, function, a very frequently used word in programming. That is like a real life specialist. In real life, for perform several jobs, we appoint several specialists. Like you appoint a carpenter, you appoint a mason, you appoint a mechanic, you appoint a painter, you appoint a transporter. All these are specialists in a specific area. What we call specialist is a function in our program. First, you have to understand that from real life. One thing here, one more technique I am telling you. Every programming concept is borrowed from real life. Every programming concept, there is no exception. So, if you learn every concept, especially fundamental concept from real life, you will be very comfortable because you can own them. And in examinations, if you have to write lot of stuff with the relevant stuff, not husk. And in interviews, you can impress the interviewed board members very easily because this type of explanation they never find from any student. That's why, and that's why you learn in this aspect. This is my brainchild. Okay, now let us consider this specialist-oriented world. The real world is a specialist-oriented world. For everything, you go to a specialist. Now he came to my class because I am specialist in teaching computer science. You go to a doctor, he is a specialist in curing diseases. So that first you understand the real world as a specialist oriented world. That I explained to you. This is you. You want to get your house cleaned. Then what you do? You appoint a cleaner. Actually, now I am writing like this because functions are identified regardless of the language. Every function is identified like this. A name, a self-explanatory name, and a set of a pair of parentheses. You want to get your house cleaned, you appointed a cleaner. You want to get your house painted, then you appoint a painter. Thereafter, your house should be cleaned. Then, here, two specialists you appoint. In this context, one very important thing I have to tell you. The painter himself may clean your house, but when he is painting, he is the painter. When he is cleaning, he is the cleaner. That point you have to understand. Now, another example is you have to get your house shifted from one location to other location. Then, which specialist you appoint? Packers, lifters, movers, means transporters. Here, three types of specialists you are engaging. As I told you already, one set of people only may perform all the three jobs, but that you don't consider. When they are packing all the material, those are packers. When they are lifting all the material from home to transfer vehicle, then lifters. When they are transporting, those are movers. That point you have to understand in this context. So, this is the way. Now, the final example, what I am giving is, you want to get your house constructed. For that purpose, to whom you appoint architect, engineer, mason, transporter, plumber, electrician, carpenter, etc. You appoint more than 15-20 specialists. This is the real world. Real world model means whenever you want to get a job done, immediately you find a specialist, one or a set of specialists, and you get your job done. Am I right? So, if you see this model, how your house is being constructed, your house is being constructed by collective contribution of all these specialists. How your house got shifted by collective contribution of all three specialists, your house got shifted. By collective contribution of two specialists, your house got painted and cleaned. So this is the real life model. Real life model. If you understand this model, the same model, only name is different. Here you call them as specialist, there you call them as functions. Functions also, you give names. Now, specialist is a general name. Now, architect is a specific name. Engineer is a specific name. Packer is a specific name. Like that, you give names like read marks, calculate total marks, calculate average marks, print report. Like that, names you give. Those are called functions. Now, not only from real life, I want to show you a programming example also. Actually, here I am showing you C example because C is a true function-oriented programming language. Every C program is a collection of a set of functions. That's why, just for example's sake, I am taking the marks report program only, and the corresponding functions I am listing out. By that, you can form a clear idea. Now you see that this is the marks report. In this, not only marks, name, class number, roll number, marks percentage in 5 papers, total marks, average marks, status, grade, everything is there. This is like a formal marks report. So, you have to write a function oriented program for writing this marks report. For that purpose, first thing is you have to identify all the operations. What are the operations? Now start program. Thereafter, reading marks, calculating total marks, calculating average marks, testing pass or fail. Actually, one point logically people miss. Simply, one student got 75% marks. Can you give him distinction? You should not. Because before that, what you have to do? You have to test whether he passed in all papers or not. That's why testing pass or fail. That means in every paper you should get the minimum pass percentage and evaluating grade. Based on that, different grades are there. 35% to 50% third, and 50 to 60 second, 60 to 60 above distinction, like that. Certain norms are there. In that, evaluating grade, printing marks report, like that, ultimately stop program. These are the instructions. This is the algorithm. Which steps we have to implement to perform this task is called algorithm. First, we have to prepare an algorithm. Thereafter, then mentally you have clarity. You designed everything. Thereafter, you write the corresponding functions. You see that corresponding list of functions: read marks, calculate total marks, calculate average marks percentage, test pass or fail, calculate grade, print marks report. So, with simple example, matter of 10 minutes study, you are able to understand the basic model of FOP paradigm. Understand? So, first you understand. Actually, there is another paradigm, that is OOP paradigm, object oriented paradigm. Actually, before learning that, you must learn FOP paradigm because FOP is the subset of WOOP. If you are really good at FOP and objective orientation will be lighter, you can very easily understand. Without studying FOP, if you go for WOOP, then you have to waste a lot of time and you may not be comfortable in mastering WOOP. That point you have to understand.